Today's episode is how to build a six-figure business based on effortless achievement versus hard work and hustle. Hello and welcome to the Successful, Sensitive and Intuitive Entrepreneur podcast. My name is Lydia Sophia Wilmsen and I am an intuitive success mentor for sensitive entrepreneurs. In this podcast, I speak about the challenges sensitive and intuitive entrepreneurs face. I offer you new perspectives and solutions, as well as experiences of other entrepreneurs. Plus, I speak about my personal experience of being a highly sensitive person who has successfully built and scaled two businesses. All of that with the goal to make you and your business even more successful in your very unique and authentic way. Have fun and enjoy. I put six figures here because this is what many people want. And obviously, if you're further ahead, you can put a 7 there, an 8 there, whatever your number is. The focus of this episode is building a successful business based on effortlessness and ease and not on hard work and hustle. Because the latter is the mainstream. So it's super easy to make lots of money. That's not the problem. The big challenge for people really is to invite ease and effortlessness into their life. I have spoken to countless entrepreneurs. It is a thing out there that many people, many entrepreneurs end up in burnout. Many of them recreate the hamster wheel they wanted to leave when they left corporate, or like the dreams they had for their business. They wanted freedom, they wanted free time, they wanted to follow their dreams and create something beautiful. And so many of them, the majority of people ends up in a place of hard work, in a place where they have forgotten about their big dreams, a place where they don't have a lot of time for their family, etc., etc. There is a saying in Germany, I don't know if it translates to English. In German it is selbstständig, that's a person who is self-employed. Like, ich bin selbstständig, I'm self-employed. And that means selbst und ständig. That means self and always employed, so to say. Basically, what it refers to when you're self-employed, when you have your own business, that you work around the clock. So it's not as an employee, then you have your time from 8 to 5 or something. There is this joke that when you have your own business, when you're self-employed, you always work. And there is truth to that because it is the truth for so many people out there. So this episode really is about if you want to do it differently. If you have a business right now based on hustle and hard work, and you really want to change that, or if you're building your business and want to start differently from the beginning on, meaning creating a business based on ease and effortlessness, then this episode is for you today. And I actually only have 2 points today. So how do you do that? How do you build a six-figure business or a six-figure plus business based on effortless achievement? 2 things to take into account. One, as you know me, what I teach all the time is the mindset work. And what is the second point? A personalized strategy informed by excitement, passion, and pleasure. And I'm going to go into both topics today. So the first one, mindset work. There is a reason why so many people fall into hustling and hard work. And I will just give you some limiting beliefs and emotional patterns around that, why this happens and what you have to clear. There is obviously much more. I can't name everything. And you can just, when you listen to me now, when I talk, you can already check in with yourself. What resonates with you? Where do you feel or where do you see yourself? So if you're a high achiever, you love to work, but also you know you have this pattern of working hard, working a lot, having all this pressure on you, being in this hustling mode. You have to work on clearing limiting beliefs and emotional patterns around perfectionism. Not that everything is like yours, just pick yours right now. Perfectionism. Self-worth, a low self-worth. Very often, like I come across that with all of my high achieving clients, they feel only worthy and lovable when they achieve and perform. So whenever that happened in their life, they attached their own self-worth to lots of achievement, to having to work hard. And obviously, it's very difficult for them to not work hard because their self-worth is attached to that. So you really have to clear emotional patterns around that. Another part is being wealthy and rich. How did your family, or when you grew up, the people around you, how did they view the rich and the wealthy? With many of my clients who come from rather working class, some of them middle class, the rich had a very bad image. And this informs how easy it will be for you to make lots of money and how easy it will be for you to make this with ease and effortlessness. If being rich in your mind is connected with being horrible and bad people, you will do everything to not be one of those who get rich easy. You will put in so much work to always have something to prove that you're not one of them. You're actually working hard for what you do, basically. Another part is codependency in family. I just recently had this with one of my clients. Huge codependency on basically taking care for all the family, even for parents, having to take care for 20 plus freaking people. There was huge codependency playing out. And of course, if you have so much responsibility, if you take on responsibility for the rest of the world, so to say, business won't be easy for you because you have all this weight on your shoulders, carrying it around without even knowing that. My client didn't even know that. We uncovered that in one of our sessions. So codependency in family, it can go in manifold directions, is a big one. And mostly people are not aware of this. Another one is attachment to outcome. Like you're so attached because this business, this successful business, this 6+ figure business seemingly will give you something you don't have right now. Feeling of purpose, feeling of achievement, pride, joy, abundance. Like you attach this to your business and you get attached to it. And this will hinder your growth. Because the freer you are, the more you can listen to your inner voice, the more you can come up with very resourceful ideas, and the less you're attached to how it's going to happen. There is so much freedom in detachment from outcome. So that's a big one as well. Another one, attachment to time. How fast can it go? Some people are attached to the idea that it needs to go fast, it needs to happen tomorrow. And if it hasn't happened tomorrow, attachment to outcome, then something is wrong. I have done something wrong. And they change strategy and they get all like not expansive anymore. They get all anxious, all dependent on what's happening, or like dependent on circumstances. Attachment to time, like it needs to go fast, is really what slows you down. And then there are the other people. They have also an attachment to time, but the other way around. They think it can't go fast. I will need to build this for 5 years before I can make XYZ. It's the same thing. You are attached to an illusionary time frame. Time is an illusion, and it depends on how you want it to go, and you can make this happen. So it can go pretty fast, but it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't matter. And people who detach from time altogether, who don't care anymore if it's going to happen tomorrow or in 10 years, they are usually the people where it goes pretty fast. So attachment to time is another limiting factor you have to check on. Then there is the idea of permission to experience ease, permission to relax, permission to not work hard. Like if you come from a hardworking family, you will fall into the trap of loyalty. What if I don't work hard? This is all subconscious. This is not that you run around with this thought. This is why we have to discover that and have to do the inner work and become detectives and figure out what's going on. And this happens to people that they come from a hardworking family and it feels like disloyalty, or like they feel disloyal to their family when they break this pattern subconsciously. And this is why they keep on hustling. Another one is the need for complication. Simplicity is key, and simplicity is possible. It can be easy and it can be simple. But in our world is super complex. And very often we then put this on business as well, and we put this on our mindset as well. We think it's so complex, like, oh my goodness, I have to do so many things. I have to do inner work for 5 years now. No, you don't. It can be easy, and you can trust that. I had this with several clients who in the beginning were like, it can't be so easy. So we have this thought for it needing to be complicated in order to be worth something. It's crazy. So those are some things, and there are obviously many more limiting beliefs out there. And this is what I do in the work, like with my clients. We uncover those and we work through those. And this is the fundament. This is the basis for the next point, for the strategy. Because I think I mentioned that in the last podcast episode. If you carry all this burden around, imagine carrying a very heavy backpack. How fast can you go with a backpack? How much power do you have left to implement your strategy? Much less than when you have all this baggage gone, so to say. Then strategy works so much quicker and so much better. So mindset is always what I start out with, and it is always the basis of the work with my clients. Like when we go into strategy, it's always informed by mindset. It always starts from a mindset perspective. So I never sell my clients the one and only strategy. It is always based on doing the mindset work first and on an ongoing basis, and then finding a personalized strategy for my clients. So for you, it is not the one strategy out there that you have to follow. You have to uncover the strategy for yourself that gives you the most excitement, the most passion, and the most pleasure. And again, for that, we very often have to go deep into your mindset and into your emotional set, so to say. Trauma work, all of that stuff needs to happen very often because many people aren't even connected with excitement and passion. They have no idea what this would mean for them. So very often there is work to do before we even get there. And then it is totally possible. So if you want to build a multiple six-figure business based on effortless achievement, then this will be key. To find something that lights you up, that excites you so much, and this will be your strategy. I have clients who are amazing at personal relationship building, and this is their way to go. I have clients who are amazing at speaking, so that's their way to go. I have people who don't want to show up openly. We find a different strategy for them. Like whatever you want to bring into this world, there is a strategy out there for you that will feel aligned for you. And obviously we have to do the inner work because very often what happens is that it's actually not the strategy that scares you, but your limiting thoughts, your limiting patterns that keep you from that. So for example, if you're a person who says, I don't want to be visible, I just want someone else to do all of that stuff, that is usually not coming from a place of true excitement. That's coming from a place of avoidance. There is usually something going on that keeps you like a fear. It's coming from a fear-based mindset. And once we uncover this, solve this, it might even be that you find true joy in being fully visible for your business. And you actually want to be the brand of your business, basically, the personal brand. So even that can shift. I had the most introverted clients who later on put their images on everything and showed up and shined as, the face of their business. So this can change. And this is why we have to uncover what's holding you back. If it's really the strategy or if it's limiting beliefs, and then the strategy will actually be aligned for you. And as I said, like a strategy informed by excitement, what really lights you up, what is fueled by your passion and by pleasure. So I don't teach anything which will have you sit there and you dread every morning having to get up and do the work. Not at all. And then around this strategy, what is absolute key, obviously, is honing in on the compounding effect of ease and effortlessness. And that means consistency is key. Keep doing that what excites you. And it's not that you do one thing today and another thing tomorrow. It really is being consistent with that focus. And this is, again, very personal. I can't tell you the one strategy here and the one thing to be consistent on because this is personal to everyone. Like everyone will have a slightly different approach. And consistency is key. Consistency in feeling good and putting focus on your emotional well-being is key. Consistency in that. I don't mean just consistency in how often you write copy or something. No, I do mean the inner work behind everything. Consistency in that. And then obviously a way of showing up and doing business. And you will come to a place that you take your business so seriously that you do want to show up for it. And it doesn't matter if this is once a day, once a week, whatever. It is not about that. It's always about the energy behind it. And then obviously, once we go into higher realms, it will be about proper business building. Once you have reached 6 figures, it will really be about systems you put in place so that at some point you won't be needed in your business anymore. Because this is what business means in the end. You can show up, you can do the work, but the business would run without you. Then we will have to put systems in place to make this happen. And even those can be led by excitement, passion, pleasure, and joy. Even those. It is an absolute myth that this is not possible, that you have to put in the same system as everyone else does and you have the same boring things. No, bullshit. All of this can come from like a new way of being, like a new paradigm, so to say, new paradigm of business. And I do think actually that we need this. This is part of my vision, why I do what I do, that I do think we need a total paradigm shift when it comes to business, actually with everything in the world, but also obviously around business, that we will have to shift into a new way of doing business and doing business coming from a place of empathy, because this is the only thing that sets us apart from artificial intelligence, our heart, our empathy, and business based on that, and business based on qualities like joy, passion, and excitement is going to be the future of business. And this is what, my clients fit that, and they are excited about bringing that message into the world. So if this excites you too, you will be part of the new paradigm in business, so to say. Okay, part 1 was mindset work. Part 2 was personalized strategy informed by excitement, passion, and pleasure. And just some side notes. What helps? Obviously, something like a like-minded group of people, a support network. Doing it all by yourself is horrible. No, you need like-minded peeps around you. This could be a coaching program. It could be a paid mastermind. It could be a free mastermind. I have both. I have my lovely, lovely mastermind of we are a group of friends. We are 3. We have met regularly and we are in very close contact since more than 6 years. I have been part of masterminds all the time. I'm part of a mastermind right now, a paid mastermind. Coaches, I have several coaches. I have my support network of friends and family. All of this is so important. We cannot do this alone. And this is, by the way, I should have put this into the first one, like mindset work. This idea of I have to do this alone. Otherwise, I'm not good enough. This is also utter bullshit. Like human beings are social beings. No one out there has ever done anything by himself or by herself. It's not possible. You will always build on what has been built before. We can do what we do now because of the generations, the hundreds or the thousands of generations before us. That you have a computer. This makes it easy for you. Like whatever you do, if you use the internet right now, you haven't done whatever you do by yourself because you're using stuff people have invented before you. So usually with this idea, you will never do anything by yourself. So you can drop this now because it's utter bullshit and it just keeps you stuck where you are, because many things, especially around mindset work, but also around strategy, is so much easier to build and so much easier to work through when you have guidance on your side, when you have support on your side. Okay, that's it for today. And if you're actually looking for some guidance on your path, feel free to reach out to me. As per usual, you have the link in the show notes. You can book a 15-minute call with me, a no-pressure call, where we really go deep into what's happening for you right now, why things are not working as you want them to work, what your challenges are, and then we will see if I can support you. Yeah, so that's it. And I would say next week we have a very, very powerful interview coming up, actually with one of my clients right now. It will be worth your time if you want to hear a little bit more about how I work, if you want to see the changes that happen, the transformations that happen for my clients, if you want to get like a really personal interview from someone, then make sure to listen to next week's podcast episode. Much love to you, and until next time. Did you like this podcast episode? Then I would be super, super grateful if you gave me a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. Super helpful. And please subscribe to the podcast and share it with people who you know can benefit from it. You can find all links to my social media profiles, my website, and contact form in the show notes. And whenever you're ready to take a next step, and that means you want to live a life of more on all levels, then send me a message with where you want to go and what is keeping you where you are, like what keeps you stuck at the moment. And then I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you for listening, and until the next episode, much love to you, Lydia.